He has an amazing family. And people just find a way, Nick, and I'm not going to name any names. They find a way to crush him. But what happens? 43, still getting it done. The last time we saw him play at this level was 2007, 2010 when he won league MVP. So, Tom, keep doing your thing. Put your hater blockers on and forget about all the other people talking bad about you.
Hey, you know that tape? It's that infomercial where the guy cuts his boat in half and he's just driving around and he's like, can tape the boat. That's what I'm going to put all over my jersey if I was a defensive back, because everyone's getting stiff-armed, and eventually you got to say, you know what, I don't care about the rules. I'm having a sticky jersey. So once you put your arm on me and push me down, bad news, you're coming down with me. Too much. Not going to embarrass me on national television again. Treat me like Josh Norman.
All right. So yesterday, I took a take where people are afraid to take takes. I gave the unvarnished truth about Bo Jackson, the football player. Pretty good. Massively overrated. We then put that on the internet, and their reaction was swift and furious. We can show some. The second smartest man on sports television, Bomani Jones, cursed at me. One of the best columnists in America, Sam Mellinger, cursed at me. Doug Gottlieb questioned if I knew who Marcus Allen was. Michael Lee, another great columnist, said it melts the sun. My old co-host said he disowned me. One man, however, one brave soul, Wesley Robinson, with a blue check mark next to his name, said, you, sir, are an inspiration. I just added sir to his story like I'm Donald Trump. You are an inspiration. Who's Wesley Robinson, Jenna? I don't know, but thank you, sir.
Neither do I. Guys, I was down. I'm going to be honest with you. I was a little down on Des Bryant making a return to the NFL. Didn't think it would work. And then yesterday, as I'm scrolling through Twitter, I see this video right here. Des with the Ravens on a just jam-packed, game-like condition field with defenders absolutely everywhere. The guy runs what appears to be almost like a 2-yard curl route, catches with one hand with distractions flying all over the place. And I'm thinking, have we been sleeping on Des Bryant? This is the guy that the Ravens need, that Lamar needs to give him a boost on Sunday when they face the Pittsburgh Steelers. I finally figured it out, Des, and I am really feeling good about it. The other guy I feel really good about this weekend, Baker Mayfield. Let's talk some Browns. This team coming off a tremendous comeback win Sunday, albeit over the one-win Bengals. This weekend they begin life without Odell after his season-ending ACL tear, and so now all eyes are on Baker as he continues to try to lead this team to the postseason. Browns and Raiders, it's Sunday, it's 1 o'clock, it's on Fox. So, Mike, how do you expect the Browns to look Sunday in their first game without Odell?
Well, I expect them to look the same as they did as they finished the game last weekend. For the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield, he's going to be more comfortable in ball distribution and spreading the ball around now. Because when you got a guy like Odell Beckham, you almost feel that it's a necessity to get him the ball. And, you know, you got a number one guy, you paying him top dollar, and you just want him to be happy. So the respect level is there. I played some of my best games when I didn't have a number one, especially early on in my career. Not to say that I didn't need it. You know, as I got older, I learned how to use a number one like Deshaun Jackson and you know, when to get him the ball in certain spots and when it's time to target him. So, you know, it won't be the pressure of having to find Odell and get Odell the ball. You know, for Baker Mayfield, he'll be able to just play within the framework of the offense. And sometimes, you know, that's just how you get the best out of the offense and out of yourself when you take that little bit of added pressure. So it could be easier for the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield, but they're certainly going to miss Odell in his presence. I don't think it was that hard, or it shouldn't be that hard to get a guy the ball when you have a sensational talent. But, you know, that's what the Cleveland Browns is dealing with and moving forward. We'll see if it's easier and if this defines the Cleveland Browns offense.
Mike, I'm so glad that you said it. Coming from a quarterback's mouth, it means everything. People don't understand the dynamic between the quarterback, the play caller, and a number one wide receiver. It put pressure on everyone on the offensive side of the ball, even the wide receivers who we haven't talked about. When you're a guy and you're paid at the top in the NFL, you've proven it, and you ask for the ball, or you know everybody wants to get you the ball, you start looking at, well, what about me? I'm here. I made it through the draft. I also produce. So I think this is going to help this offense. I think it's going to help Baker Mayfield, and I think it will be better for them. Now, to answer your question, Jenna, I don't know, right? Because it's your commitment to how you win defines your identity. The first 4 wins that they had, their identity was running the football. We knew that. Last week, it was about throwing the ball. Now, we know that you can win so many different ways in the National Football League. But for me, I want to see who they are. I want to see if they're going to go back to committing to the run game, or if they're going to look at this and say, you know what, we believe in Baker Mayfield to throw it 30, 35, 40 times a game. So I can't answer that. I want to see them commit to who they believe they are, and then that will dictate, how we view this team moving forward.
Wilds, I'm nervous for the Browns this weekend. And it's not just because Odell's not going to be there. Because the Raiders are sneaky way better than people are giving them credit for. Their wins are excellent wins. They beat the Saints. They beat the Chiefs. The game where they just got blown out against Tampa was a 4-point game with 8 minutes left before everything went wrong for the Raiders. And Brady, to his credit, played great late. I have to be nice to Tom Brady because Brandon informed me a few minutes ago. Evidently, Tom Brady's got a really hard life full of criticism and haters. I just was totally unaware. I thought he'd lived a charmed existence. And if you look at the Raiders' schedule so far this year, the worst team they've played is the Panthers. And the Panthers are not a bad football team. They played the Saints, the Patriots when the Patriots were playing well, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Bucks, and they're treading water. And so I think we look at the Raiders and like, oh, okay, a good team should beat them. Well, a couple really good teams, the Saints and Chiefs, have lost to them. In addition to that, Wilds, I think the lack of Odell is going to hurt the Browns' running game. I think whether Odell was having all-pro numbers or not, when you watched the games, more often than not, he was still demanding the coverage and the respect of an all-pro receiver, and that was making things easier for Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb when Nick Chubb was healthy, and Nick Chubb obviously is not playing this week. It's right before a bye week for the Browns. They're coming off a great win. There's just a lot of indicators to where you worry about a bit of a letdown. Meanwhile, the Raiders feel like, man, we played really good football for 3.5 quarters last week. We blew it at the end of the first half, allowing a deep bomb to Scotty Miller, and then in the fourth quarter, we let go of the rope. For all those reasons, this has the makings of what I think would be considered an upset by a lot of people, but not that big of an upset in my eyes, Wilds.
Okay, so about Odell's future, Mike, I got a question for you because I thought it was very interesting. And there's 2 straight lines we can make about Odell's future, right? If the Browns play well, we don't need Odell. And if the Browns play poorly, we need Odell. Well, the third option is it an indictment on Baker that he can't use Odell? When you're saying, oh, I had better games if I didn't have the pressure of the number 1, but then I got better and could use Deshaun Jackson. Well, the Browns are looking at it like they got to figure out Odell's future. They're also got to figure out Baker's future. And I don't know if I'm willing to sign up for more Baker if I've got a weapon like Odell and my star quarterback can't use him.
No, this is the easy question, Wiles. I think it's time for Odell to move on. As ironic as this situation is, and to answer your question, they'll get a glimpse of what life without Odell is. And I think Odell will sit back and say, hey, I gave it a shot. I gave it a chance. I believed in them. They believed in me. It just didn't work out. This is a great opportunity for them to mutually part ways. No bad blood. Odell can go and find him a home. Baker can try to continue to make Cleveland his home. He's on a short leash, and we'll see what comes out of it. But I think to answer your question, it's over for both parties.
Oh. Yeah, and I'm gonna jump in here too. As the resident wide receiver, to me, it's not on Baker. It's on the offensive coordinator. It's on Stefanski, head coach, play caller. When you look at this, he hasn't. And I said this week 2, week 3 when we saw Odell on the sideline, being emotional and we saw the antics. I was the same guy early on in my career, so I don't want to call out him and not call out myself. But I say all that to say this. The play caller has to do a good job getting your guy the ball early. When you have a player like Odell,
yes.
And I'll go back to it, a bubble screen, quick screen, jailbreak screen, one-step slant, quick game, hitch. Like just simple stuff. You hitch route converts to a go route. Now you got the back shoulder. Throw it up. It doesn't have to be a perfect pass. Throw it up, back shoulder. Put it in the area where he can make the play and he's also protected. That's all this guy's asking for. That's all he needs. So it starts there. And then also it starts with Odell. As a wide receiver, when you know you're emotional, and I'm speaking to all the high school wide receivers out there, college wide receivers, even the pros that watch the show, listen. You have to understand how your emotions and how your approach to the quarterback and the play caller affects them and the team. You have to be able to.